I have to stop your dream from being realized. It's a declaration we've known has been set up for years, but it's something seldom touched on throughout the series. Ever since that fateful day in Chapter 2 when our boys first met and declared their goals to each other, one to become the king of the pirates and the other to become an officer of the Navy. The two titles couldn't be further apart in their respective ideals, but the individuals themselves have found a respectful rivalry with each other. So why does Koby feel the need to stop Luffy in his tracks, knowing full well how good he's been for the kingdoms of Alabasta, Dressrosa, Wano, and with what it means for Luffy to become king of the pirates? It's a clash of order versus freedom. And to understand that, we're going to have to start from the beginning. From their very first adventure together to release Koby from Alvida's clutches and recruit Zoro as their first member of the Straw Hats, Koby got to experience firsthand the selflessness of Luffy. He taught the young would-be Marine how to stand up for his beliefs in the face of adversity, and even gave him the courage to finally leave Alvida's crew and pursue his dreams to join the Navy. Seeing Luffy's example of fearlessness in front of Alvida, Helmeppo, and X-Hand Morgan to stand up for those who were being oppressed was so important to his growth as a Marine and character, because it gave Koby a new perspective on the people who called themselves pirates. That even though their pirates were generally chaotic lawbreakers, there were those that used their freedom to stand up for those that the Marines couldn't be there for. And just because the Navy paints every pirate across the board as evil, that's not always the case. Over 400 chapters later in Water 7, after the events of Enies Lobby, we got a sweet reunion between Luffy, Zoro, and Koby. And Helmeppo's there too. And it was during this time that Koby admits it was only thanks to Luffy that he was able to see the rest of the world. And before they parted ways again, Koby gave Luffy a very important piece of information for his journey through the Grand Line in the New World, stating, "There's a new era coming, and the people who can guide that new age are gathering in the oceans. The one who can master those oceans will become the king of the pirates." And it's there that Koby declares his goal to become an admiral and become the one that will catch Luffy. And in order to do that, he's going to have to become much stronger, because Luffy, who is already stronger than him, is continuing to grow as well. Now, it wasn't until chapter 569 during Marineford that they had another chance encounter on the battlefield. And it was then that Koby got a quick and painful taste just how far Luffy's come in that short amount of time. With a single gum bullet, Koby got just blown away by Luffy before he could even get a single attack off. And it wasn't until after the war that Koby began awakening his hockey abilities, much like Luffy started to. Part of it thanks to his rigorous training with Garp, no doubt. Following Marineford, we know full well how much training Luffy went through with Rayleigh. He made advancements to Gear 3, he developed Gear 4 in its different subforms, developed his armament, observation, and Conqueror's Haki, but how many of you have really thought about all the training Koby went through during the last couple of years? With his hockey abilities awakened and his vigorous training from Garp during the time, it's no wonder we see the growth Koby had in the time skip. With a title like the Hero of Rocky Port and an ability like Honesty Impact, I'm still not sold on the name. Sorry. And even becoming a member of Sword. The growth he's had from the little boy we saw in Alvida's crew is just astonishing. But I, as I'm sure many of you, might not see this as nearly enough to contend with Luffy, especially after all Luffy's been through, with his fight with Katakuri and learning Future Sight, to his time in Wano further developing Future Sight, combining his Conqueror's Haki with Advanced Armament Haki, awakening his Devil Fruit to Gear 5, probably the most broken power in the entire series, as well as his just incredible stamina and durability that he's had since the very beginning. These all put Luffy on an immensely high pillar above Koby. And here's where we get to present day. With Vegapunk's message coming to its conclusion and the world learning more about the Mother Flame, the government's intentions, and little bits of Joy Boy and the Will of D, I believe that Koby now sees Luffy's dream as a threat to the world. With unchecked freedom on the seas, it's possible that Koby thinks if Luffy achieves his dream and becomes the Pirate King and acquires the One Piece, the worst possible outcome is going to come to pass with the ancient weapons being deployed against him. the same ancient weapons that Vegapunk told the world are the cause of the rising tides, and it's likely that they will be deployed against him in retaliation, or even used by the Straw Hats to achieve their goals in Koby's eyes. As a Marine who aspires to become an admiral, it makes sense that Koby would make it his goal to stop him. He's someone who's devoted to maintaining the order of the world and to protect the common folk from pirates, bandits, and other such calamities. But how can a character like Koby contend with somebody like Luffy at this time unless Koby has another incredible leap in power? I only really see two options. The first being the same kind of scenario that Roger had with Garp. And as the sort of spiritual successors of the two, I see Luffy and Koby having multiple bouts over the coming years with no real conclusion from them, meaning either Koby is defeated and Luffy gets away, or the fight is just inconclusive and Luffy gets away regardless, which will continue until we see some kind of plot effect from Luffy using the gear transformations and Ivankov's adrenaline ability, which are undoubtedly affecting Luffy's heart negatively, to the point in which Luffy knows he's coming to the end of his life and turns himself in the same manner that Roger did. The other option is something I don't think we'll see, but if we did, it would likely be an end of the series epilogue event where Koby has gained enough experience as an admiral, or possibly even the fleet admiral, depending on how later in the future this is, where he is actually able to beat Luffy. Now, before the pitchforks get raised for saying that I think Koby's gonna beat the next coming of Joy Boy, the important part of the discussion is the clash of ideologies between the two, with Koby's desire to uphold order and the safekeeping of the world against the natural disasters that the ancient weapons are posing, as well as preventing them from being brought forth against Luffy, his rival and friend, and the other emperors to prevent them from acquiring the One Piece, and Luffy's desire to become the king of the pirates in order to achieve his true goal, which hasn't yet been explicitly stated, though there are a lot of theories as to what that is, but we as readers can easily assume it involves tearing down the current world government and the way that the world is run. So let me know what you think on the subject matter at hand. How do you think Koby versus Luffy is going to go down? Is it going to be one-sided as always at the end of the series, or do you think there's going to be some kind of time skip at the very end where they face off with each other one last time? Or do you think Luffy will actually give himself up at the end of his life? Leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it, as well as subscribe for more One Piece discussions, reactions, theories. I'm Rath, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.